mind. It's been quite a congress, 2 days of all this input, and I am going to take you on a journey. It's going to be a roller coaster. This is, by the way, me when I was a kid, you know, playing with the Commodore 64 of my daddy. And yeah, indeed, I like playing around with technology. I like to do creative stuff with it, experiment with it. And indeed, as Dutchie said, have fun. Have fun with this stuff. You know, it's, we can make it as serious as we want, and, but let's have fun. Well, of course, how are you feeling? Let's do a quiz. Who is, we're going to ask who is tired and who is still energetic. Who is really tired? Who's really tired? Say, me. Who's tired? Yeah, me. No, nobody's tired. So when I'm going to ask you the question, who is still energized? You're going to be like all together, yeah, me. Who is energized? Yeah, me! Yeah, energized. Okay, we're having a good time. This is what I really think is so funny. Funny stuff made with generative AI. Weird, cool. This stuff looks like this because GenAI is really bad at, well, doing things that we want it to do. So this artist uses the fact that AI makes a lot of mistakes and makes art out of it. I like that, you know? Use the mistakes that AI make to make that fun stuff. That is also inspiring me a lot. Well, oh yeah, when you see that little CR here, it looks very big on the screen, but if you see that, that means it's a AI-generated image or an AI-generated movie, because not everything that I'm going to show you is obviously looking like AI-generated. And I'll explain more about this little logo later on in the presentation. Probably you all have heard about that new miraculous technology. And, you know, it can write like humans write. Very surprising. And it makes art like humans make art. That's really something. It can even make music like humans do. Wow, that's amazing. Is this the end of human creativity? Is also what people asked themselves. And they also are afraid, and perhaps there's people here also that are afraid that it will take our jobs. There's a lot of people afraid that it will take our jobs. Well, what is this evil machine that does all of that? It looks like this from the inside. And this is what it looked like on the outside. In the 18th century, 1700 and something, people were building clockmakers, these automata. And they looked like humans, and this one is making music. And this one is Dali's ancestor. It's from 1750, around that time. And it could really draw. Here it's drawing a dog. So, you know, that was frightening. It was mechanical. It worked like a clock, and you could program it with these discs in the back of the automata. And that is ChatGPT's Swiss ancestor, because the clockmaker that made all these was a Swiss person, and it would even look around. Of course, the eyes don't work, but they move, and it writes, and you can program it in the back by changing these parts in the back of the automata of this first writing robot way before ChatGPT. then you could make it, well, write whatever you wanted it to write. And then all of a sudden, there was a couple of centuries later, ChatGPT was launched. And it was also, again, as if people forgot that writing machines already were there for centuries. People were like, wow, that's cool. I can do my homework with it. So the first people on the planet that really were enthusiastic about this technology were kids doing their homework with ChatGPT. And the teachers didn't like that. So they used generative AI as well to see if the kids perhaps used ChatGPT to do their homework. But kids were smarter, so they built, I found this on TikTok, they built machines to then make it in handwriting because the teacher did not accept printed text anymore because it was difficult to see if it was AI generated, so it had to be handwritten. This is built by a kid, this machine that thought like, okay, if it has to be handwritten, then I built my handwriting robot. So ages ago, a Swiss clockmaker made his handwriting robot, and now kids make it with ChatGPT in the core. And this is ChatGPT 4.0. You can also ask 4.0 to write whatever you get as from the output, to have it printed on something like that, making it look like real handwriting. This is so good that not only teachers could not figure out anymore, is it made by an AI or a human? Even the Google algorithm couldn't figure out anymore what was fake and what was real. The person in the left, that's the tank man, that's the hero that was on that square in China, and he stopped a whole bunch of tanks. Famous guy. And, but he did not make a selfie at all. So the picture on the left, he did not make a selfie, that's not him, but the Google algorithm even couldn't detect anymore, is this wrong? Is this fake? Is it real? So it slipped through the security check. Here you see how realistic it looks. And yeah, I cannot blame the technology that it did not see what went wrong here. But that's why a smart bunch of people, they are united in C2PA, have an answer. And that is everything that is AI generated will get what's content credentials. So that's this logo. If you see this, TikTok, for instance, now will label AI-made content with this label, and then you know it's not real, it's fake. It's made by artificial intelligence, and also your name will be attached. So people can also see who made that beautiful art. So it works both ways. So these penguins in the desert, hey, is this real? Or you just click that content credentials logo, and you get also the information what AI was used to make this, or what AIs, or how many times it was altered. And all these brands already committed to this format. Also, OpenAI is supporting this content credentials program. How it all started, I mean, we are here also with a lot of coders and you know, I take pride in being called a nerd. I think being a nerd is really, you know, like a cool name. Call me nerd, because nerds change the world. In 2015, for instance, 17, Google needed to make images searchable. If an image did not have a little bit of text explaining what the image was about, then it could not find the image if you were looking for a beach with people playing football. So they built an AI that could recognize a person, a ball, a beach, and then make a complete sentence. So image recognition then wrote, this is people who play with a ball on the beach. And that is, then you can look for these images in the search engines. And there was a fun guy, he thought, but then if you type the caption, why not should it then make this? If you have a line of text, why not represent or create that image? And so they started testing if that idea, turning it around, would work. And the first experiment was a green school bus parked in a parking lot, because school buses are not green, they are yellow. So you have then, they're like this. So if green school buses don't exist and the AI has to come up with it, then it has to create one and not find one. It could look online if it's connected to the internet, but you want it to create something new. And this was the first image, very small, and it was very blurry, but yeah, it looked indeed a little bit like a school bus. Or this, like a herd of elephants flying in the blue sky. Or this looked a bit like a bowl of bananas on the table. So that was quite a revolution. So they tried all these one-liners and all these images, and later on, OpenAI had the DALL-E developed, and it was already so much better in creating reality. This looked like, an avocado armchair. Did not exist either, or sad ice cream. Does it understand an emotion? Can it represent that? And why ask it that crazy stuff? Like this one. This is famous. This is an astronaut riding a horse in a photorealistic style. Well, if it can generate what we ask it, then we know it understands us. It's aligned. So if there would be an Olympic swimmer on a horse on the moon, then we would know that it did not understand the word astronaut. Because OpenAI, of course, has a task, and that is you get artificial general intelligence aligned with what humans want. So basically, DALL-E was just a test to see if the model underneath understood humans. It was not meant for the creative industry, just as a test tool. Does it understand us? Is it aligned? That's the big question. Oh yeah, my name is indeed Rodger Werkhoven. Thank you, Dutchie, for introducing me. And as part of an early research team, I was invited by OpenAI in the spring of 2022. So it was really all new, also for OpenAI. We would be working like this. That's Natalie Summers in the left top corner. She was the project coordinator. And OpenAI asked us, all these people from all over the planet, because it had to be an inclusive experiment. Could not just be an American party. So from all over the planet, there were a couple of creative people asked to join, invited to join that research team as creative people, because creative people dare to experiment, go a little bit further. Recently, of course, ChatGPT 4.0 launched.
Can you end the story, but do it in a singing voice?
It's really impressive. It's really great fun.
And so Byte found another robot friend, and they
Really
lived
fun.
circuitly.
You can see it on the website, all these little clips, but also how blind people are now, really with ChatGPT 4.0 mobile. They can just go into the world and use ChatGPT 4.0 as their eyes. Also, what it does, it can do so much. It can also, like a 2D logo, generate it in 3D, for instance. This is an experiment that you can find online as well. But our first project, the bunch of people from all over the world, was DALL-E. And DALL-E is a combination of names of Wall-E, that little robot from Pixar, and the artist Salvador Dali, and together that makes a robot artist, DALL-E. So the guys there, the developers, a lot of humor, fun fun people. And so, well, if an artist and a robot work together, what can you do then with it? And OpenAI, what did they need from me or that whole group of people? They, well, basically also bring our culture in. You know, a Dutch guy, well, bringing your Dutch culture. So I made this was Pride 2023, already with a newer model. This was an experimental model we were going to the DALL-E 3 model. And in my culture, the painters, Rembrandt, and all the famous people from ages ago, they never painted same gender love. But now, with AI, I could ask it, well, make as if Rembrandt made same gender love art, because of course it was already there, but people were, you know, not as free as we are today. This is all 2023 with an art project I call Collaborators, with AI, of course, in the collaboration. So they also asked us, help us create new features for this technology. This is a famous little painting, and the Dutch painter never finished the rest of the painting. He thought it was just okay like this, and then I would ask DALL-E to finish it. And it made a complete street, but it was matching, you know, with what it should look like, the light matches and the clouds, and how this painter would paint it in the same style. So outpainting was such a new feature of, and now you see it also in Photoshop, etc. Also this, here I made girl with a pearl earring, robots, because AI and robots, you know, it's fun. So these are all DALL-E, well, almost DALL-E 3, but an experimental version of DALL-E after 2, in between 2 and 3. And I also showed this on an expo, and I have like a gallery that sells that stuff for me now. And so, but how the materials behave, does DALL-E understand? You know, if I ask for plastics, if I ask for mechanics, if I ask for a girl with a pearl earring, does it understand? And yeah, it did indeed understand. They also asked us, help us free DALL-E from bias. Because, yeah, if you're just type a CEO in an office, then you got these stock inspired images, white guys in blue suits, as if it's only white guys in blue suits that are CEO. That's not the truth. I did experimentation, and then that's how creative experimentation, that's how I learned about these biases. Here I prompted it for the white king of chess personified, plays chess, black and white, photorealism, and I got this macho king, Game of Thrones style. So yeah, quite impressive. And if I would just change that white into the black king of chess personified, plays chess, black and white photorealism, that's weird, because this guy has, you know, the ropes and everything, and this guy, there's not much clothing on that person. What causes this is a bias. In the States, in Miami, hip-hop, well, hip-hop is big everywhere, and in the video clips, the hip-hop guys, they did not wear much. It is hot. They are along the swimming pools and in their cabrio cars. So the AI thought, oh yeah, black people don't have much clothing on. So, but that was a hip-hop bias. And this, for instance, here, I asked an Asian porcelain geisha doll enjoys a popsicle on a rainy day, and some photographer data there. Well, is that really how you enjoy a popsicle? I don't know if there's not, and the shape of it, you know. I haven't seen those popsicles in a long while. And so then we learned, yeah, of course, it's trained on everything internet, and there's a lot of Asian porn. It seems to be very popular also in manga. And then you get these things. So we had to find solutions to not have that, because we wanted also kids to be able to work with this new technology, and how we freed it of bias, because you want this. You want the diversity of humanity. Also, ladies are CEO, and also people with a healthy amount of pigmentation are CEO. And so we came up with a technology, or our developers, and it's called latent prompting. And what that is latent prompting is prompted to make the output, in our case, more diverse. But basically, latent prompting is extra prompting most AI developers don't show you. It is secretly prompted by algorithms to make the output nicer, or in our case, more diverse. So if you would ask for a CEO, it would add European, African, Indian, a lady, a guy. It would add all these prompts without telling you, because you have to think you're the AI artist and not the machine. So prompt engineering, who is engineering prompts anyway then? You know, half of it is, or even more, generated by the model itself. So this is made with, what's called Midjourney. They really exaggerated. Midjourney made an art form out of latent prompting. For instance, if I would just hit the keyboard, you can try it with Midjourney and do random stuff. DALL-E would say, I don't know what that is. I cannot generate that. But Midjourney gives you beautiful ladies and fantasy situations. That is what the target audience likes so much. So that is because of all that latent prompting that is added to what you prompted. So be aware of that. And to be aware of things, and you know, AI and CO2. What's the footprint, by the way, of this technology? It must be awful, and a lot of, well, really, ChatGPT is that little green thingy. If you compare it to a laptop computer, the same thing, you know, a page, one page in ChatGPT, or one page in a laptop, a desktop, a human. So if you're a human, that is your CO2 footprint if you generate an image, a text, because it takes you much longer than ChatGPT uses the time. And also with DALL-E, DALL-E 2 here, this is Nature's research. DALL-E 2 there, the little green blob, that's the CO2 footprint DALL-E 2 causes. If you compare that to a human making an image, painting it and buying the paint and the stuff, and so the CO2 footprint is basically much less than everybody thinks. Also, AI and energy consumption is an interesting topic. There I made a data center with Midjourney. So the world is all dried out. It's because these data centers do use a lot of cooling water. But now there's a chip by Grok, and with new technology like smaller models, the 1-bit models, much more efficient, they are going to fit on these chips. Probably Apple is going to release the first ones with a large language model on a chip in your device. And well, then energy consumption is also reduced tremendously. So we're making progress. Everybody is interested in Sora, by the way. Of course, everybody knows this beautiful lady walking through a Tokyo city, and it's almost perfect. There's some stuff happening with the feet, but yeah, it looks like if you prompt it for a lady walking through downtown Tokyo, that it understands what that should look like. And here's a Chinese laboratory that has our technical officer, top left. She is talking, and the Chinese researchers made our Sora, just that one image.
You know, the form of these
talk,
AI systems that we collaborate with. And maybe we have several of them, and maybe they all have different competences. And maybe we have a general one that kind of follows us around everywhere, knows everything
It's
about
very
my context,
human-like,
what I've been
and also
up
little
to
movements.
today, what my goals are, sort of in
It's
life,
really,
at work, and kind of
it's
guides me
difficult to
through
see
and
what's
coaches me.
generated, what's not. Don Allen, he
Welcome
made
to
these
Beyond Our
very
Reality,
creative,
a
funny
journey
things,
through parallel
creatures,
worlds, where we
fantasy
delve into the
creatures
extraordinary.
with Sora.
Episode 1 unveils
It is
the
a very
giraffe
creative
stunning
model
hybrid
if you
that
want
roams the
to
savannah
generate
with
this
grace
kind of stuff,
and
because it
vibrancy.
knows the world, it understands the
episode 2,
giraffe,
we
it
ascend
understands
the flying
pigs and
pigs,
how they should
charming
behave when
creatures that
they
beautify the
would
skies
fly.
with their harmonious
And Don Allen, he's a
Episode
creative
3
dude, so he
plunges us
makes
into
all
the
these
depths to
fun
discover the
fantasy
wellness
creatures
and
with it.
elegant blend of
And so with Sora, will it then take the job of people that are into video? Will camera people be out of a job soon? What I always say, don't think jobs, think tasks. AI will take tasks away from you that you don't. It's pretty difficult to make a giraffe bird kind of an animal. It takes that task away from you, and Don Allen is a very creative guy, and it will be in Adobe Premiere Pro soon.
AI to deliver the most advanced and precise editing tools ever in Premiere Pro. Revolutionary features like Object Add, Remove, and Generative Extend, powered by the new Adobe Firefly video model, are coming to Premiere Pro. And we're excited to show early research explorations with our friends at OpenAI, Runway, and Pika, so editors have the freedom to use the best model for their project. We're excited to share our explorations around giving editors the choice to use models that work best with their footage. From OpenAI, here's an example of their Sora model, currently in early research, generating B-roll for any scene. Through simple text prompts, Sora creates variations for you to choose from. Here's the same use case now using Runway AI's video model, generating a new video clip and adding it to the timeline in a snap. And content credentials coming to Premiere Pro this year.
So you can
always
see,
make
oh,
transparent
this is
whether
AI
was used and what
generated.
model was used in the creation of media. It's Adobe Premiere Pro. Supercharged.
So it will not take away your job, it will take away tasks you want to hand over to a machine because you want to be creative. So that's always that's my mantra. AI will not replace you, but someone using AI will. So I'm telling people, start, play with it, experiment. It's great fun. It's it's the most human technology we ever invented. You can talk with it. It talks back. You can play with it because it will be part of your future using it. What will that future bring us then? Well, Sora is basically a world model. What I explained, that it generates video is not its main task. It must understand the world. And video is just a way of checking if it does. Does it come up with the right answers? Does indeed the image that Sora has of the world, does it align with the reality? It's trained to understand our world. So video is just proving it understands. This kind of stuff, if you prompt like people hand in hand walking underneath the blossom trees, then it should not be underneath, in the ground, underneath the roots, and everything it does there with the stands, it proves it understands our world. Why is that so important? Well, we are getting older, and humanity is not going to shrink. There's going to be more of us, and having more fun. We need assistance. If we're getting older, we are not that athletic anymore. So we need robotics, for instance, to help our elderly. And I hope that we all benefit this technology. So getting older is, and also there's a lot of dangerous work that people don't want to do, can't do. And robotics are assistants. And that's what now the biggest race is. Everybody in the industry now is after robotics. This is Boston Dynamics Atlas 2. And how it moves is quite intelligent, you know. It doesn't really move like a human. It's more functional, it can just rotate its whole torso. This is going to be such an assistant. And this one is a robot by Figure. OpenAI provides all the thinking material, so the AI, the GenAI. And this is really amazing. This demonstration, I'll explain what makes it amazing.
What do you see right now?
So first it has to see what's in front of it, okay?
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Great, can I have something to eat?
So the guy asks, oh, okay, can I have something to eat? He doesn't ask, give me the apple. Yeah, can I have something to eat? Then the machine, the generative AI, it's more like a large action model. A large language model talks a lot. Large action models also perform tasks. Has to figure out what he means with, can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
Great. Can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
And here again, he says, can you explain what you did when you pick up the trash? He doesn't say, put the paper back in the basket. He says, explain what you did and why you did it, why you pick up the trash. So the thing has to reason, and that reasoning is the new revolution. So this was
sure thing.
That Apple thing, right? Yeah. Why? We have to see that Apple thing again, I'm afraid. But it's not really bad, right? It's great fun. Here. So
sure
something to eat, it reasons. Reasoning, you know, that is something we thought humans only did, reasoning.
Great. Can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
On it. So I gave you the apple because it's the only edible item I could provide you with from the table.
Great. So based on the scene right now, where do you think the dishes in front of you go next?
Dishes? What is also a cup? Where he doesn't say put the dishes
on the table
in
like that
the
plate
basket.
And cup are likely to go into the drying rack.
Yeah,
next.
likely he's reasoning.
Great. Can you put them there?
Of course.
So robotics, up till now, you had to tell them what to do or practice with them first, and then they copy it. But this thing is reasoning because of the technology that OpenAI develops with Figure. So this, you've probably seen this movie. This won't be science fiction for long, because in the labs it is happening already. These also Tesla, of course. They're not reasoning yet. Figure is a front runner in that. But this will soon be reality. So no science fiction anymore. That is quite exciting. To stay up to date, you have to only follow me on LinkedIn, because I share a lot of this stuff. Also the art I make with also other artists, this is made with the collaborators again, Arno Koene. I share everything I know and I get from all sorts of AI developers on LinkedIn. So follow me there, and all the questions you have, you cannot ask them right now, I was told, but just ask them on LinkedIn. So thank you very much. And yeah, have fun with this technology. Enjoy.